The Ghost of Tsushima Platinum is finally here, my friends. We've had this one requested a fair few times on the channel, and I felt like it was up to me to take the reins on this one, as we've both achieved this incredible platinum before, but as it's one of my favourite games of all time, I was more than happy to do it all over again for all of you. There are 52 trophies up for grabs, including the platinum, and we have a lot of fun, generic open world trophies and story related trophies, but there's a lot of nice miscellaneous trophies scattered about, Easter eggs and that sort of fun stuff. Let's kick off this epic adventure with the opening scene of the game, which transitions beautifully into gameplay, as the samurai charge downhill to face the Mongol onslaught. One of my favourite openings to a game. We stormed the beach, losing many of our comrades along the way, but managed to stay with Lord Shimura until we reached the monstrous Confronting the Khan. All of the samurai that had made it this far alongside Jin and Shimura had been defeated, and Jin himself is flirting with death, as he sees Lord Shimura ahead of him, bound and captured by the Khan. Confronting the Khan recognizes Lord Shimura's prowess as a warrior and leader, so decides to take him captive at Castle Kaneda, a fort that the Mongols overthrow, and Jin is seemingly left for dead. Strangely enough, Jin wakes up in a nearby village with his wounds tended to, but without his armor or sword. So now we can play the game for real, as we must sneak past Mongols, find our gear, and also meet our savior, Yuna, a thief that scavenges battlefields, but also needs Jin's help to save her brother, Taka, whom has been enslaved by the Mongols for his talents as a blacksmith. Now we need to sneak our way to retrieving Jin's sword so we can finally move on to some trophies. Uh-oh. 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 I thought you could sprint whilst crouch kind of thing. It's been a few years since I played Ghost of Tsushima, okay? Anyways, after taking to the safety of the rooftops, I managed to grab Jin's sword, learn how to swing it, and then fumble my way to my first trophy. I'd actually take the picture. Oh, there you go. A moment in time. First trophy. Personalize the scene in photo mode. Oh, it's not take a picture, it's personalize the scene. Gotcha. Before finishing this introduction and grabbing the trophy that comes with completing it, we slice our way through more Mongols, helping the locals along the way, and then have to make a tough choice, choosing our horse for the entirety of the game. The bond between Jin and his horse is brilliant in this game. You can choose your horse and its name, which extends to the different voice lines. I went for Nobu, which means trust. And with that, we set off to explore Tsushima and experience its many tales. Jin attempts to cut the head off the snake as soon as possible, and with his broken gear and vengeance washing over him, he makes his way to Castle Kaneda to eliminate and free his uncle. Jin completely loses his mind and lets emotions get the better of him, which is not the samurai way, and his lack of control ultimately ends with him being completely overpowered by Confronting the Khan in combat. In gameplay terms, this is a completely unwinnable fight, no matter how well you do or how many Souls games you've completed. Jin slashes Confronting the Khan across the face, enraging him and provoking him to throw Jin off a bridge to plummet to his doom. Of course he's not dead, but I'm sure the impact into the water below must have knocked him clean out, and Jin begins to have flashbacks of his father's death, where he had the chance to save him but was too scared, leading to Jin being made lord of the Sakai clan, which leads us to relive Kazumasa's funeral through Jin's eyes, and foreshadows many of the amazing characters that we'll meet on our journey. This scene also shows Jin receiving his father's sword, which Shimura tells him contains his father's spirit, and as we go back to Jin's reality, the game then hints at the guiding wind being Jin's father, Ghost of Tsushima's famous wind mechanic that shows us the way to our objectives. Jin meets up with Yuna again, and thankfully our horses return when we whistle due to them being well-trained samurai horses. And after that absolutely incredible opening, we finally start the main game, with barely any strings now attached, with yet another seamless transition, while we ride through the iconic pampas grass and set off to find allies and rescue Lord Shimura, and then the island of Tsushima. There are 3 main areas of the island, and each one represents an act of the story, so we are free within the boundaries of each act to explore, but some enemies are way too strong to begin with. Oh my god. Yep. Everyone's too strong. There are many activities, tales, and events to complete in this beautiful open world, such as scaling mountains to obtain powerful charms, following foxes to pray at their Inari shrines, or simply locating pillars of honor on the island to loot the swords placed there. Speaking of which, I picked up a trophy for grabbing my first sword kit early on. Pillar of honor. Thank you, birdie. Collect. Lost and found as well. Damn. Discover a pillar of honor and collected sword kit. Yasha's Embers. Moving on, I decided to complete all of the tales, which are a fancy way of saying quests, and complete as many events on the map as possible before moving back over to the main storyline, and I met up with my favourite character, Sensei Ishikawa, a master in archery trying to hunt down his student who has gone rogue and joined the Mongols.
Don't move! Sensei Ishikawa. Lord Sakai's boy. You survived Komoda.
And not long after, I met with Masako, the wife of Lord Adachi, the samurai lord who was burned and beheaded by Confronting the Khan at the start of the game, and her tales involve finding out who, within her inner circle, has slaughtered her entire family, even the children.
Dead for days. Lady Masako, it's me.
Jin Sakai. They said no samurai escaped Komoda.
After completing all their available tales in Act 1, it was time to continue the main story by meeting with Yuna and trying to rescue her brother, or at least find out information on his whereabouts. This part of the tale is crucial in Jin's battle with himself to honour the samurai code, or do what must be done to save Tsushima and avenge the fallen samurai on Komoda Beach. But for us, this just means we now have the ability to assassinate enemies, which makes life easier. After sneaking our way through a Mongol camp, we free the captives inside. It may not have been Tucker in those cages, but we free a Straw Hat Ronin who gives us information on Tucker's whereabouts, and this starts Jin's transformation into the ghost as he starts to realise he must leave the samurai code on Komoda Beach where the samurai were massacred.
I know this wasn't easy. Going against your code.
I did what I had to.
Before the next trophy, we see what's going on in Castle Canada, and Confronting the Khan is driving a wedge between Jin and his uncle by telling Lord Shimura of Jin's dishonourable methods when they found the bodies of Mongol soldiers that had been stabbed in the back. On the way to start another tale and recruit more allies, I spent some time completing open world objectives and picked up a few miscellaneous trophies while I was at it, such as a classic trophy in many games forcing an enemy to take a tumble. Off you go. Oh, really? Stagger. Yeah! See you later. Have a nice fall. Kill an enemy with fall damage by knocking them off a ledge. Simple. After earning that trophy and fighting swarms of Mongols, it was time for Jin to take a well-earned break. There are hot springs dotted around the map where Jin can relax and reflect on his journey thus far, but not only that, you also increase your max health with each one, and going to them all goes towards trophy progress. Speaking of hot springs, I hung out with Ishikawa some more and defended the beautiful Kiyoshi hot springs from his student Tomoe and her Mongol archers. Then during a random tale, I picked up a combat related trophy. Wait, what if I do this? Hiya! Boom! Gong gong gong. Open for business. What? Successfully stagger enemies 50 times. That was so good to get it against that guy. Opening his block up, his guard up. Before attempting to take back Castle Canada and rescue Lord Shimura, we still need more allies, and we encounter an old friend of Jin's, a man who is now a Straw Hat Ronin, surviving off the land and with no lord to serve, Ryuzo, who now leads the Straw Hat Ronin, as they lost their leader during the battle on Komoda Beach, where the other samurai were also cut down. Ryuzo and his men are starving to death, and Jin offers his help to try and find them food, in exchange for their assistance in rescuing Lord Shimura. So, once we help them take down a few Mongol camps whilst finding no food at all, what we do find is a map with potential supply lines on it. Ryuzo takes this map and agrees to rally his Straw Hats to help Jin rescue his uncle when the time comes. With the Straw Hats recruited, Act 1 was almost at its peak, and on the way there, I earned back-to-back trophies in style. Oh, flash of steel. Oh, and you're terrified. Yeah. Flash of steel. Defeat 20 enemies with counterattacks after perfect parries. And witness protection. I saw that opportunity. Shoot a terrified enemy with an arrow while they're fleeing. That was sick. All that's left to do in the first and biggest act is rescue Taka, so he could forge us something to get inside Castle Canada. For this, we required more help from funny man Kenji.
I am Kenji, upstanding merchant, renowned sake brewer.
And the best swindler on the island. That's why he's going to help us rescue my brother from Azamo Bay.
Kenji has been acting selfishly as usual and has been trading sake with the Mongols. We use this to our advantage to sneak into the bay where the Mongols hold Taka captive. Once out of Kenji's cart, we sneak our way to Taka in the dead of night. Eventually we reach Taka, whom we save just in time as he was betrayed by another blacksmith that told the Mongols he was sabotaging their weapons. And then we pick up another story trophy. After all this stress, Jin needs another rest. And once we liberate a nearby town and set Taka up at the forge there, he makes us our grappling hook, which is useful not only for story progression but also for trophies related to exploration. Before reaching Castle Canada with our allies, we end up saving Ryuzo's men from being captured and escape the camp after a fierce skirmish, leaving Ryuzo bewildered as to why the Mongols kept his men alive and even fed. Finally I made it to the castle and everyone joined us, except, strangely, the Straw Hat Ronin and Ryuzo. Using the new grappling hook, Jin sneaks his way in to allow everyone else to storm the castle afterwards. Shortly after, Jin encounters Ryuzo already inside the walls and discovers that he has defected to the Mongols now that Jin has a bounty on his head, and he wants to use that to look after his straw hats. We duel Ryuzo, leaving him severely injured, and then we need to fight our way to rescue Lord Shimura, as Confronting the Khan has already left to go north and take over Castle Shimura too. All of our allies have entered the castle at this point, and we fight our way back out during a huge brawl along with everyone, and once we've escaped with Lord Shimura in one piece, we are awarded a trophy. Now Lord Shimura is on the offensive and we make our way through a hidden path to the region of Toyotama. We still have to gather more allies during Act 2, but our objective now is to strengthen our forces with survivors on Tsushima and to recruit samurai from Japan's mainland. Then we can take back Lord Shimura's castle. During this opening to Act 2, I stopped to relight one of 8 lighthouses in the main game, which of course awards us a trophy when we get them all, and I encountered another fantastic character, Norio, the warrior monk who lost his entire temple and his beloved brother Enjo. After hearing Norio's story and recruiting him to our cause of taking back Tsushima, Act 2 finally began and I had the entire region of Toyotama to freely explore, also unlocking mythic tales, which are quests that give you amazing rewards such as legendary gear or abilities to use in combat, especially useful in the duels. For now I fast travelled back to the first region, Izuhara, to complete open world events including liberating villages and farms from the Mongols. These events were unlocked with the start of Act 2. There are also 6 or 7 trophies for liberating areas. Hey, hero of the people! Oh, liberate 12 occupied areas in Izuhara. Ah, I thought it was just for doing all of them. Nice. Increasing Jin's legend by simply completing tales and events, you earn new ghost weapons, and picking up the last one with a skill point netted me another simple trophy. There's another trophy later on for raising your legend to maximum and becoming the Ghost of Tsushima. Oh yeah, every trick in the book. Via all the throwable ghost weapon techniques. The next trophy I picked up was for killing many leaders, which unlocks you new combat stances. Oh, hello. Speak of the devil. Oh, quick study. Learn all the combat stances. Then another for exchanging flowers for various outfits and dyes.
An honor to assist your
slay.
fight.
What? Acquire 30 pieces of vanity gear. Ah, okay. Very nice. Didn't know I was that close. Beautiful. Every Inari shrine you pray to gets you closer to unlocking charm slots. After this shrine, I had prayed enough to be awarded my 6th slot, which led me to a trophy for filling those slots with charms. Come on. Come on. Show me the money. There we go. 6 slots, and we know what that means. That means... It means a trophy. What do I actually want? It doesn't matter right now. Let's get the trophy. Boom! A charming man. Equip a charm in all 6 slots. Beautiful. Something worth mentioning is the hidden shrines scattered around the island. They're marked simply with a signpost and a silhouette of a figure performing a bow. If you swipe down on the touchpad to bow, weird things will happen, like this crab party. Do this at 10 of these shrines for a trophy, which will happen naturally if you look out for them. Alongside our new friend Norio, we now have the continuation of Masako and Ishikawa's tales. Even Kenji has a few tales for us to complete. A few of these chains of tales will award us with trophies at the end, and every single tale is needed for the platinum anyways. Heading back to the main story quest now, as we return to Jin's home to retrieve the armor of Clan Sakai. Not only is this armor incredibly strong, it also grants us the ability to chain extra standoff attacks for a trophy. We also meet Yuriko here, the lady that looks after the estate and has known and looked after Jin since he was a child. It then shocks her that he asks her to make him a poison that can kill a man, a new weapon to use against the Mongols, and Jin crafts himself a blowgun and darts for use with this poison. And after testing it out, I grabbed another trophy. Yuriko's tales are quite short, so I carried on from there and finished them off, as she slowly loses her mind and starts thinking Jin is Kazumasa, his father. Eventually Jin goes along with it so she can enjoy her last moments with him, until she sadly passes away whilst gazing out at the island from the family graves.
Rest, Yuriko. The strength we need is all around us. The mighty fall at last, to be no more than dust before the wind.
No disrespect to the poor woman, but I did expect a trophy there. Anyway, I did pick up some more trophies shortly after, starting with liberating more areas. He didn't see nothing. Oh yeah, he did. Ooh, critical strike. Oh, good riddance. What was that for? Liberate 8 occupied areas in Toyotama. Oh, nice. Next up, collecting gifts from the people of Tsushima that accumulate as you progress. I wonder if this is the last gift. Yes, it actually is. Oh, it's more as well. Gifted. Collect 10 gifts. The next trophy I actively went for was for successive standoff kills using fully upgraded Sakai armor. Standoff. Face me. Is there 5 of you? I think there's enough. Here we go. For the trophy. 1. There we go, that's the hard part of the way. I can't see there's a tree in the way. 2. 3. And 4. Here we go. For the trophy. 5. All in the wrist. Oh yeah. Swipe that blood off. Defeat the maximum amount of enemies within a single standoff. Alright, come on then. Yeah. Yeah. I started a mythic tail next for an ability called the Heavenly Strike, which is an attack using your resolve meter that's unblockable and makes duels a lot easier. On the subject of duels, we have to defeat a vile murderer in one to learn this attack. There's also a trophy later for completing every duel in the game, including the story duels, like the fight with Ryuzo earlier, or this quote-unquote duel I had during a random tale.
I don't want to die. I surrender. I'm sorry.
Now on to the next trophy for grabbing collectibles. Yeah. Oh, artifacts. Yes. Know thy enemy. Ah. Collect 20 Mongol artifacts. Nice. Next, another trophy for more liberation. Oh, a fight for the Isle. Is that liberating everything? Yes, in Izuhara. There we go. Boom! Uncover the whole map now. Now let's finish this area before we carry on with the story. Another back-to-back of trophies now as I ran to the Pirate's Den, Umugi Cove, and picked up another collectible there. Jeez, that is so blinding. Hey, Den of Thieves! Umugi Cove. Discover Umugi Cove. The Pirate Cove. Ah, yes. 20 records. Where is it? There it is. Trophy. Boom! Avid reader. Collect 20 records. Now I don't have to use this outfit ever again. Yuna's tales unlock during Act 2 and there's only 4 to complete. I take down 2 slavers to lure out a Mongol general, and after defeating him in a duel I got the trophy for ticking Yuna's tales off the trophy list. Next I decided to start a mythic tale that asks you to defeat many straw hats around the island, to draw out a man that some call a demon, and I needed to defeat him in battle 2. These fights are brilliant, each with a unique setting and each Ronin having a unique personality, and of course they go towards the trophy of completing every duel in the game. Yeah. Yeah. No. Why? Why, Jin? Come on. Yes. Yes. That was close. To the main story now, as we attack a Mongol outpost with Lord Shimura and steal their hwacha, which are siege weapons that shoot many fire arrows at once. Using this we can defend Goro, our messenger, whom will deliver a message to the mainland asking for samurai reinforcements. Also added in this letter is a request that Lord Shimura can adopt Jin as his son. After this, we head back to Yuna and Taka to defend Yarikawa from a Mongol attack so that we can recruit them in our fight to take back Shimura Castle. And things take an even bigger turn for Jin here as his ferocity towards the Mongols takes over and he unleashes the Ghost, unlocking us the overpowered Ghost Stance ability, which will net me a sweet trophy later. After saving the people of Yarikawa and even rallying the peasants to fight for the Ghost himself, another story trophy came my way. Now swapping back to the grind outside of the main story, completing one of many bamboo strikes on my way. These are needed for a trophy later on, but I thought I'd give them a little mention as they're a great minigame and you gain permanent boost to your resolve meter by completing them. Then I moved on to another trophy I've been aiming for from the beginning, as I had saved up all my resources very carefully to upgrade Jin's sword. Only the sword and the Sakai armor should be upgraded if you want to save a lot of time on this platinum. Here we go. I've been saving for this. Fully upgrade Jin's katana. Trophy. Boom, the perfect storm. Like Susanoo. Fully upgrade your sword. Simple.
You have my thanks.
After this, I discovered the black dye merchant, and after an exchange with the white dye merchant earlier in the game, buying something from this guy too meant I got a trophy. Thank you, sir. Okay, anyway. Masks. Nope, that's hideous. Well, it doesn't matter what I buy, but I fancy buying this one. And trophy. Boom. Monochrome Masters. Purchase an item from the black and white dye merchants. Later, whilst helping Norio defend Kushi Temple from Mongols, I picked up the Ghost Stance trophy. Hiya! Right, definitely get the trophy here. Hiya! Oh, first one, Haunting Precision. Or 20 kills with Ghost Stance strikes. And you're next. Hiya! Whilst on a trophy spree, I then grabbed the trophy for bowing at 10 hidden shrines. Ooh, hello. And how many this is? 8? Fish. Oh, ooh, Honor the Unseen. Bow to 10 hidden altars across Tsushima. Okay. Swear that was only 7 or 8, but sure. Look at the fishy go. Before launching our all-out attack on Shimura Castle, Jin goes on his own mission to take down Ryuzo, but he ends up being captured and tied to a post. When he awakens, he discovers that Taka was captured too, whilst trying to save him. Taka isn't a warrior and is clearly influenced by Jin's persona as the Ghost, like a child looking up to his hero. Confronting the Khan himself arrives and offers Taka the chance to save himself by killing Jin. Taka is a loyal friend to the end, as he attempts to strike down the Khan but easily loses his life in the process, resulting in his brutal decapitation in front of Jin's eyes. The Khan is too full of himself though and leaves Jin tied up, so Jin escapes, finds his gear and enacts his vengeance on the Mongols before escaping. We encounter Yuna as we're about to leave the camp, and when she finds her brother's body, we slaughter the Mongols all over again. After this tragedy, Yuna offers her services to Jin so she can avenge her brother by defeating the Khan. After this sad ending to Taka's life, I was thrown a story-related trophy, and then I grabbed the special trophy dedicated to Taka. The only good thing that comes from Taka's death is probably this. If I play this song, there we go. Dirge of the Fallen Forge. Play the Lament of the Storm at a friend's grave. Now it's time to retake Shimura Castle. All of our allies reunite along with all of the samurai reinforcements from the mainland. This battle was tons of fun. I absolutely love huge battles like this in games. We stormed the castle even using battering rams and enemy huachas, but eventually we are stopped at a bridge as Lord Shimura blindly sends men at the Mongols. They use strategy to send explosive strapped horses across the bridge to blow it up, in a scene akin to Lord of the Rings' The Two Towers. Knowing that Lord Shimura's methods won't work, Jin chooses to go against his will and poison the Mongols, even though his uncle is heavily against this, as it is dishonourable and barbaric to him. Jin dons Taka's final gift to him, the armour of the Ghost, and sneaks through the castle grounds to poison the Mongols' drinks. This scene has genuinely been crafted so well, displaying the horror of this type of warfare and showing the growing rift between Jin and his samurai code as the poison works a treat and the Mongols violently die around Jin so that he may infiltrate the castle further. Yet the princess, the Khan, is in another castle and Ryuzo is left to defend it as we fight to the death. Ryuzo regrets defecting to the Mongols, but it's already too late, and Jin knows that Lord Shimura would have Ryuzo killed for his treason anyway. I know Ryuzo was doing everything for his Straw Hats, but I didn't have much sympathy for him, as he betrayed us and his entire country. Ending Ryuzo awards us a trophy, and I also picked up another one beforehand because I was doing all the open world events on the way. Securing sanctuary. Liberate all occupied areas in Toyotama. Okay. Pop during the story. As that trophy name suggests, Jin has fully embraced the ghost now, as he must fight this way to defeat the Mongols by any means necessary. Lord Shimura must abide by the law and throws Jin in prison for insubordination and breaking the samurai code. Kenji arrives and, being the dodgy trickster he is, manages to break Jin out of his cell, and Jin makes his way to the stables to escape north and chase down Khotun Khan with his remaining allies. The next scenes are heartbreaking, and it won't hit you the same unless you play the game for yourself. Jin manages to escape north, yet his horse is horrifically wounded in the process. In my case, my horse, Nobu, my loyal companion for a long time now. Nobu managed to carry me north, was clearly in such agony, loyal to the end and pushing himself to his limit. We sadly lose our most loyal friend, and with these dramatic scenes we head into the final act.
I'm sorry I couldn't protect you.
I don't know if I'm just being a wuss, but this scene hits hard, especially with the music. Let me know your reactions when you first experienced this in the comments, I'm really curious. Before the next trophy, which was a story one, we sneak our way through Mongols whilst having none of our equipment, and after being struck by an arrow, we discover that the Mongols are now using Jin's poison for themselves, causing much death and destruction, and making Lord Shimura blame Jin for the Mongols adding poison to their arsenal. Jin is saved yet again by Yuna, who has all of Jin's equipment with her. Then we recruit a group of hunters after helping them take down a ton of Mongols, and to Jin's surprise, all of his allies have followed him north to join him in the final fight against Khotun Khan. With Act 3 underway, this also means a new region to explore, and the first non-story trophy I earned was for completing Masako's final tale, where she discovers her sister had faked her own death and murdered the entire Adachi clan. Once her sister had met a fitting end, I grabbed that trophy. The Vengeful Warrior. The sister betrayed. Complete all of Masako's tales. Now, time for more liberation! Yay! But not before a completely baffling turn of events I've never experienced in this game before. Whoa! I'm dead. What? Oh my god! Why? And again. Bam, bam. Oh, damn it, I got interrupted by the next phase. Oh, there you go. You just carried on all of a sudden. Yes. Golden armor and a trophy. Surely a trophy for half for liberation. Come on. Yes, I was right. Mass eviction. Liberate 7 occupied areas and Kamiagata. I made my way to Norio to complete the rest of his tales in succession, to the point where some of the monks train to be warrior monks like Norio and fight back to take Cedar Temple from the Mongols in the north. We succeed in taking back the temple, but this leaves Norio as the last warrior monk once more. Next, Norio is in for the shock of his life as he finds that his brother Enjo is still alive but has no arms or legs, being tortured by a Mongol general called Karchu. Enjo had been giving the Mongols information in exchange for them keeping Norio alive. After putting Enjo out of his misery and placing his ashes in a cemetery, Norio eventually calms himself and agrees that Jin can help him storm an encampment and kill the general Karchu. But whilst camping nearby, Jin wakes up to find that Norio has gone on a path of vengeance and has started to slaughter everyone and burn the camp down to make his way to Karchu, whom he also burns, all before Jin has even had a taste of combat. Once we set Norio on the right path again, I got the trophy for finishing all of his tales. Next up were Sensei Ishikawa's last tales, and we've made contact with Tomoe after all this time, but now she is seeking our help. Ishikawa doesn't trust her even a smidge, but we end up being ambushed by the Mongols she trained, and after dealing with them, we move towards Umugi Cove, where Tomoe says her archers are preparing to attack. Making it just in the nick of time, we take them down but lose sight of Tomoe during the battle. Jin and Ishikawa work out that she must be trying to leave the island. Tomoe had completely used Jin and Ishikawa's skill to her advantage, but before Ishikawa can finally strike her down, Jin finds an endearing letter addressed to the sensei, and he lets her go, rewarding me with a trophy and a sour taste in my mouth, because these amazing tales have now sadly ended. Now for a little Easter egg related trophy for finding and wearing specific bits of gear. Here's the pillar of honor that we need. There it is, the Sly Tanuki. And once we equip this, we should get a trophy. Oh yeah, Cooper Clan cosplayer. Dress up as a legendary thief. I found Yamata the musician for a final time to start the final mythic tale, having to scale a mountain and stay near campfires so to not freeze, and then fighting a warrior at the peak, and learning how to set your katana alight during battle. After this duel and travelling back down the mountain, I picked up the trophy for completing all of the mythic tales. Come on. Yes! Teller of Tales. Complete all of the mythic tales. Ah, I thought so. There are many Shinto shrines in the game, and you must find your way to them at the top of mountains, as the stairways have been destroyed either by Mongols or the test of time. This was the final Shinto shrine for my trophy. Yes! Favor of the Kami! Find and honor all of the Shinto shrines on Tsushima. And the weather goes really nice once you do that. Look at that beautiful blue sky. Back to the main story, where all that's left is to take down the Khan. Jin sneaks into Castle Shimura first and leaves a note for his uncle, asking him to put aside their differences and join the fight against the Khan. After this, I earn the trophy for maxing out my legend status and becoming the Ghost. Oh, the Ghost of Legend. Now I am the Ghost of Tsushima. After gathering enemy Hwachas to use against the Mongols, all of our allies meet to take down the Khan once and for all, and before he can use Jin's poison to wage war on the mainland. Jin's allies and even Lord Shimura and his samurai join the fray and allow Jin to face Khotun Khan by himself, our opportunity to save Tsushima from this brutal threat. The first fight is a duel which almost brought me to death, and after you defeat the Khan once, you must do it again on his ship, but this time you can use all of your abilities as the Ghost. The second phase is much easier with all your ghost weapons at your disposal, and I eventually slayed the Khan and liberated Tsushima at the same time. Literally, because I'd been doing all of the side objectives until now, I got a lovely 3 trophies one after another once I beat Khotun Khan. Sovereign End. Confront the Khan. Ooh, a new safe haven. Oh, liberate all occupied areas in Kamiyakata. And Master Liberator. Liberate the entirety of Tsushima Island. Beautiful. 3 for the price of 1. Not quite finished with the story yet, as there is a sad final part, but on the way to do that, I lit the final lighthouse for a trophy. There we go. Light the way! Oh, I thought there was more. There must be DLC ones. Rekindle all the lighthouses of Tsushima. Jin meets with Lord Shimura to then be told that the Shogun has disbanded Clan Sakai for Jin's deeds as the Ghost, and whilst taking a trip down memory lane with Uncle Shimura, we then find out that he has been sent there by the Shogun to kill Jin, which left me with the final dramatic duel of the game. We also compose our last haiku here, resulting in a trophy, completely killing the tension and the mood that the game was building.
Strength in every step. Destiny divides our souls. This is where we part.
Hey, body, mind, and spirit. Complete all hot springs, haiku, Inari shrines, and bamboo strikes. The trophy pop kind of kills the immersion and cinematic glory, but alas, a silver trophy. This is a pretty damn emotional part of the game, and the pinnacle of the story, essentially a true samurai against a ghost, and what was meant to be a father and son. But after taking down Lord Shimura, we do get the trophy for every duel completed. There can be only one. Successfully complete every duel. Once again, kill in the moment, but a trophy. I then had the choice of killing Lord Shimura or sparing him. I usually would spare him, but as I did that before, I thought I would give him the honourable death he desires. And I hadn't witnessed this ending before. 10 out of 10 for the acting here, jeez.
You were faithful to the end, Nobu.
Now I can have my own trip down memory lane. As Jin is exiled as the Ghost, he has his own little shack hidden in a forest with all the memorabilia from throughout his journey. A fantastic addition to the game, which helps you get over the heartbreak of completing it. Yuna meets Jin at his new home to say her goodbyes too, and Jin is left all alone, not leaving much of a post-game. All I had left of the platinum now though was to complete every single tale. I found the last hidden tale in the northern region, and after a couple of minutes I was awarded that beautiful trophy. Hey, Hoping Sword Hand! Complete all tales of Tsushima, and then the platinum. Come on, yes, living legend. Obtain all trophies. Beautiful. Second time and it was just as good. As always, thanks so much for watching, and a massive thanks to our patrons and members. See you in the next one, guys.